What's happening, Leeds family? If you thought this season couldn't get any more dramatic, think again. We've got three absolutely shocking developments that are about to rock Elland Road to its core. And trust me, you're not ready for what's coming. Picture this, a midfielder with a history of winding up our fans faces serious charges. Our supposed star winger embarrasses himself on the biggest stage, and whispers are growing louder about our manager's future. The tension is building, the pressure is mounting, and honestly, it feels like everything is falling apart at once. Smash that like button right now because this is the kind of content that separates real Leeds fans from the casuals. Subscribe and hit the bell. You'll want to be first to know when more bombshells drop. Because at this rate, they're coming daily. The roller coaster never stops at Leeds, does it? But here's what's killing me. While we're fighting for every point in the Premier League, dealing with controversies that could cost us players, and watching golden chances slip away, there's one question burning in everyone's mind. How much more can this club take before something gives? The answer to that question starts with a former Manchester United player who just crossed the line. Remember that name, Whites fans, Hannibal Mabry. The same player who's been antagonizing our supporters all season just stepped into the biggest controversy of his career. After Burnley's 2-0 victory over us at Turf Moor, this former Manchester United flop has been accused of spitting at Leeds United fans, and the FA is already investigating. Can you believe the audacity? This is the same player who was caught on camera taunting our fans when he was substituted at Elland Road earlier this season, pumping his fists and mocking our support. Now he's allegedly crossed the ultimate red line, spitting at supporters. The disrespect is absolutely staggering. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Keith Hackett, the former PGMOL chief and FIFA-listed referee, has spoken exclusively about what this could mean for Mabry. If found guilty, this will be classified as violent conduct, and we're looking at a minimum 3-game suspension. But honestly, given the severity and his history with Leeds fans, it should be much longer. The pattern of behavior is absolutely disgusting. This is the same player who was already sent off for a stamp on Junior Chimedu earlier this season, with his own manager Scott Parker publicly stating he's let us down today. He's let the team down. He's let myself down. He's let the staff down. The guy clearly has anger management issues and zero respect for the game or its supporters. What makes this even more infuriating is that Mabry joined Burnley for £5.4 million from Manchester United with potential add-ons reaching £9 million, and United even included buyback and sell-on clauses. They clearly saw potential in him, but instead of focusing on his football, he's become obsessed with antagonizing Leeds fans every chance he gets. Manchester United fans are calling him a legend and epic as ***** house for his behavior. Shows you what kind of mentality breeds at Old Trafford. Think about this. Burnley have crucial games coming up against Wolves, Arsenal, and West Ham. They could be without their midfielder for all of them. Possibly even more if the FA decides to make an example of him. This is the same player who already had missiles thrown at him by Leeds fans back in 2024. And now he's potentially facing the consequences of his own actions. But wait, there's more drama brewing. Because while Mabry might be banned, our own players are making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And now we get to Brenden Aaronson, the American winger who had the chance to change everything, and absolutely bottled it. In that same devastating 2-0 defeat to Burnley, Aaronson was presented with what fans are calling one of the chances of the season, and he fired it straight at Martin Dubravka. When he had only the keeper to beat, the frustration from the Leeds faithful was immediate and brutal. Social media exploded with fans demanding answers. At some point, Farke has to realize that sticking by the likes of Aaronson, Harrison, and Meslier are going to cost him his job. Another fan didn't mince words. Can we just accept Aaronson isn't good enough? The anger is palpable, and honestly, it's completely justified. Here's what's killing everyone. Aaronson was in acres of space in the box, with the perfect opportunity to level the score and potentially change the entire complexion of the match. Instead, he produced what one fan described as lacking any conviction, just simply not capable of putting his foot through it and making sure. It was soft, it was weak, and it epitomized everything wrong with Leeds' lack of cutting edge. The timing of this miss couldn't have been worse. Leeds were trailing 1-0 to Leslie Ugachukwu's 18th-minute header, and this golden opportunity came at the perfect moment to restore parity and shift momentum back in our favor. Instead, Aaronson's tame effort was easily saved by Dubravka, who barely had to stretch to make the stop. The Goalkeeper practically had the ball handed to him on a silver platter. What's even more frustrating is that Daniel Farke immediately defended Aronson after the match, saying I cannot blame him, but fans are asking why not. This is a player who's supposed to be our creative spark, our game changer. And when the big moments arrive, he consistently fails to deliver. The lack of accountability is becoming a serious problem, and supporters are losing patience with both the player and the manager's unwavering support. The statistics tell the story of Leeds' dominance in that first half to 65% possession, generating an XG of 0.52 to Burnley's 0.43. We had the better chances, we controlled the game, but when it mattered most, our supposed star player crumbled under pressure. This is becoming a worrying pattern, and fans are absolutely sick of it. But here's the scariest part. This miss is just a symptom of a much bigger problem that's threatening to destroy everything we've worked for. Which brings us to the man in charge, Daniel Farke. For the first time since returning to the Premier League, Leeds looked like genuine relegation candidates against Burnley, and the German manager is running out of time to turn this around. The trend that could cost him his job is staring everyone in the face, and it's absolutely terrifying. Parag Marat stuck by Farke in the summer, despite suggestions he could be sacked after winning the championship, but that patience is being tested to its absolute limits. Often labeled as stubborn, Farke started the Premier League with a new system that initially made Leeds hard to beat, but it's now becoming his downfall. The most damning statistic: Leeds have now conceded the first goal in their last 5 Premier League games. You simply cannot afford to put yourself in that position every single week in the best league in the world. It will eventually catch up with you, exactly like it did at Burnley. Only against Wolves did they manage to turn it around, and they would have had to more points if not for that late Bournemouth disaster. Despite having Dan James not fully fit and Noah Okafor and Willy Gnonto injured, Farke stubbornly stuck with two wingers, playing Aronson and Jack Harrison, instead of adapting the system to add physicality or push Gabriel Gudmundsson and Jayden Bogle further forward. He got it all wrong, again. The tactical inflexibility is becoming his trademark, and it's costing Leeds precious points. The defensive lapses are becoming more frequent and more costly. Pascal Struijk was given a shocking 3/10 rating by fans after his dreadful performance, switching off for both Burnley goals and showing zero leadership at the back. Karl Darlow's questionable distribution and Anton Stach's failure to track Lone Chauna's run for the second goal highlighted systemic issues that Farke seems unable to address. The man of the match only earned a 7/10. That tells you everything about the overall performance level. What's most concerning is Farke's inability to adapt his tactics based on available personnel and match situations. With key attacking players injured, any competent manager would have switched to a more pragmatic approach, perhaps utilizing 3 center backs to provide stability and pushing the wing backs higher up the pitch. Instead, he persisted with a system that clearly wasn't working, watching helplessly as his team surrendered another lead start to their opponents. The parallels with other recently sacked Premier League managers are becoming impossible to ignore. Just like Ange Postecoglou before his dismissal, Farke is showing dangerous signs of tactical stubbornness and an inability to learn from repeated mistakes. The fan base is growing increasingly frustrated, the players look confused and demoralized, and the results are speaking for themselves. Here's the brutal reality. Whites fans, if Farke doesn't solve this trend of conceding first in every game, it won't be long until he follows the same path as managers like Ange Postecoglou. The pressure is mounting, the results are getting worse, and the fan base is losing patience fast. So here we are, Leeds family, dealing with opposition players spitting at our fans, our own attackers missing sitters, and a manager who might be sleepwalking toward the sack. The question that's keeping everyone awake at night is simple: can this club handle much more drama before something finally breaks? What do you think? Is it time for changes, or do we stick and fight? Let me know in the comments below.